Hi students, today's lesson is going to be solving multi-step equations, but this time it's going to be with variables on both sides of the equal sign. So let's get started. So let's go over some rules. So if you have a distribution that you need to do with parentheses and distribute that, then combine like terms on each side. So you have simplify the left side and simplify the right side. It's individual. It is not something you do together. So this is not going to be in every problem. It's a case-by-case thing. But if this does exist, then you need to combine like terms on the left side and combine like terms on the right side. If variable on both sides of the equation, so once you do that, then you need to balance the equation by moving one variable term to the other side. So over here, you see that there is a 4x on the left side and a 2x on the right side. I always think it's good to deal with the variables first. My process and I prefer keeping the variables positive. So I will identify the smaller coefficient value. In this case, it's a 2x. The 2 is the smaller one, so I'm going to subtract the 2 from the 4x and do it that way. Some students like to always move the variable, to keep the variable on the left side, and that is a personal preference. But I like to keep positives as much as possible. So you'll see that when I do example problems, what I mean by that, okay? So first problem over here. So you have negative 2x plus 9 equals 4x minus 2. So what your objective is to get variables on one side and the constants on the other side. So like I said, I'm looking at these two, the x values, the x terms first. And my preference is to keep the x terms positive. The way you would do is look at the coefficients of the x terms and identify the smaller one. In this case, the negative 2 is a smaller coefficient from the 4, so I'm going to add 2x to both sides. You can subtract 4x as well to this side. That is fine if you want to keep variables on the left side, but I always like to keep things positive. I think not having negatives is always makes the problems less messy. So 9 is equal to 4x plus 2x is 6x minus 15. And now this turns into problems that you have seen before. You want to get the constants on one side and then keep the variable term on the other side. So we're going to add 15 to both sides. And you're going to get 24 is equal to 6x. And this is multiplying, so you're going to divide 6 to both sides. And you're going to get x is equal to 4. And it depends on your teacher. You can leave it like this, like I've said, or sometimes your teacher will require to keep the x on the left side, so you can write it as x equals 4. And if you check your solution for this, wherever you see the x, you were submitting that for. So I'm going to show this first problem with it, one or a few problems with it substituted in there. So you have negative 2 times 4 plus 9 equals 4 times 4 minus 15. And now you're just simplifying both sides. So follow your order of operations always when you do this. And there's no technical parentheses, so you don't have to simplify in it. So you go straight to your multiplication. So negative 2 times 4 is negative 8 plus 9 is equal to 4 times 4 is 16 minus 15. Negative 8 plus 9 is 1 is equal to 16 minus 15 is 1. So this is good. So that's how you would check your solution for this one. Okay? Let's do another one. So, like I said, when I solve an equation like this, there's no distribution in this problem, and I'm going to look at the two x terms, this one and this one. And I like to identify the smaller one. In this case, the 2x is smaller because the 2 is smaller than 7. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And you're going to end up getting 5x plus 42 is equal to 12. And now, again, this turns into problems that you've seen before. You'd want to subtract the 42 because you're adding it over here. So subtract 42. So 5x is equal to negative 30. Divide the 5. And you get x equals negative 6. Maybe pause and try example 3 on your own and check to see if you get the same answer as me. Okay, welcome back. So in this case, again, I'm looking at the 2x terms. And negative 3 is smaller than positive 4, so I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So you're going to get negative 11 is equal to 7x plus 3. And don't forget this. This is a negative. Do not forget that it's a common mistake to not bring down that negative when something like this happens. And now subtract 3 to both sides. Negative 14 is equal to 7x. Divide the 7. And you get negative 2 is equal to x. And remember, this is my particular fun way of doing it. I want to keep the variables positive, but you can subtract the 4x and get negative 7x on the left side and add the 11 to get 14 on the right side. There's nothing wrong with that. Some students like to keep the variables always on the left side. So that is something they do. So that is totally fine to do it. All right, let's do this problem. I forgot my little line here, so I'm going to draw it. And now if you notice in this problem, there is distribution for this problem because we have parentheses. So that is going to be our first step. We got to distribute both sides first. So you're going to have 5x plus 40 is equal to negative 2x plus negative 2 times negative 13 is 26. Negative times negative is positive. And now, again, this is a negative 2x, and this is a positive 5x. So I like to add the 2x to both sides to keep that variable positive. So 7x plus 40 is equal to 26. Subtract 40 to both sides. So that's going to be 7x is equal to 26 minus 40 is negative 14. Divide the 7. So you're going to end up getting x equals negative 2. Right? 26 and 14 is 40. All right, yes. In this problem, I want to make sure that I go over how to check your solutions when there are different types of problems. So let's go over that first. So you have 5 times plus 8 is equal to negative 2 times that's minus 13. You guys know I love my colors. So I'm just putting the negative 2 here and the negative 2 here. Okay, everywhere there's an x here and there's an x here. That's why I'm substituting that negative 2 in for both places. Now you're following order of operations. Order of operations always has grouping mechanisms, grouping symbols first. So you actually have to simplify your two parentheses first. That's your first step. So you're going to have 5 times negative 2 plus 8 is 6 is equal to negative 2 times negative 2 minus 13 is negative 15. 5 times 6 is 30 is equal to negative 2 times negative 15 is also 30. So we are good here. If you feel comfortable, pause the video and try it on your own. Okay. Let's distribute first. That's our first step. Only on the left side, there's no distribution on the right side. So let's distribute. So it's going to be negative 3x minus 6. Remember, negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6 is equal to x minus 10. And now, again, I like to keep, this is a negative 3x, this is a positive 1x, so I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So you're going to have negative 6 is equal to positive 4x minus 10. Add 10 to both sides. You're going to get 4 is equal to 4x. Divide 4. X is equal to 1. Not a very good x. Let me fix that. Okay. Another problem. Distribute. So that gives you 6x plus 12 is equal to 4x plus 8. And something you can do, and again, you have to be really confident in this, but you can move the variable to one side and the constants to the other side in the same step, meaning that you can do subtract 4x and simultaneously subtract the 12. And make sure you do this. This is why I don't like this. You have to really understand which side you're moving. I am eliminating the variable on the right side and I'm eliminating the constant on the left side. So that is something that you have to make sure that you do not mix and match. What happens is these get eliminated and this gets eliminated when that happens. So you're going to have 2x is equal to negative 4. Only do this if you are completely 100% sure. If not, make it 2 steps. Nothing wrong with that. I always left it at 2 steps when I was growing up, and I turned out just fine. Okay, so x is equal to negative 2. Okay, one more problem is a word problem. The biggest thing with word problems is setting up the equation. Okay, so Ramona has $800 in her bank account and plans to take $40 out each week. Xavier has $310 in his account and plans to add $30 each week. After how many weeks will Ramona and Xavier have the same amount in their accounts? Create an equation to model the scenario, then solve. So when you're doing a word problem, always look for the questions after how many weeks. So that is telling you what your variable is. Your variable is, I'm going to make a W, is a number of weeks. I always like to try to make my variables with whatever it represents. So my W is going to be number of weeks. Now let's go back to the problem. Ramona has $800 in her bank account. So this is going to be Ramona. And you're trying to figure out when Ramona equals Xavier. That's what you're trying to figure out, when they equal each other. So Ramona starts off with $800. And she plans to take out. So I added a plus there. I actually have to take that out and put it at minus 40. Takes out 40 each week. So 40 times W is equal to, that's Ramona's situation. Xavier has $310. So he starts off with $310 and he is plans to add $30 each week. 30 W. And what you want to know is, it's saying after how many weeks will Ramona and Xavier have the same amount. That's why you're making it equal to each other. Now it's just about solving this. And I'm going to look at this, and this is a negative 40, and this is a positive 30, so I'm going to add 40 W to both sides. So you're going to get 800 is equal to 310 plus 70 W. Subtract 310. And that is 490. 490 is equal to 70 W. Don't have enough space there because I did not leave it. So I'm dividing 70 to both sides. dividing 70. Got to make the space wherever it is. Dividing 70 to both sides, the W is on the right side. So W is equal to 70. No, not 70. 7. 7. So 7 weeks. All right, 7 weeks. All right. Your you try problems for your homework are these 4 problems, these 3 equation problems and the word problems. All right. Bye, everyone.